everyone, today we are going to make the most pungent Nigerian food ingredient ever, more specifically Igbo food ingredient. The smell is so pungent, but when you add it to Bitterleaf Soup, Ora Soup, Abacha, it takes the tastes of these meals from 20 to 100. There's also a yam porridge that is prepared with bitter leaves. You can also add Ogiri Igbo to it. Tell me, what other meals do you add Ogiri Igbo to? Let me know in the comments. You guys have been on my neck for years. Upload the recipe for Ogiri Igbo. Show us how to make Ogiri Igbo. I miss Ogiri in this Obodo Igbo. What is the alternative to Ogiri Igbo? Even though I often tell you to add seasoning cubes or stock cubes or bouillon cubes, the truth is that Ogiri Igbo has no alternative. Nothing comes close. But not to worry, today is the day. We must make this Ogiri Igbo today. But bear with me while I give you a little bit of a background story. I would have shown you how to prepare this Ogiri Igbo a long time ago because my grandma, Adigini, some of you know her, makes the best Ogiri Igbo ever. I know that you will come here now and tell me that your grandma's Ogiri Igbo is better than my grandma's Ogiri Igbo. It's a lie, yo. My grandma makes the best Ogiri Igbo. In her heyday, people used to come from far and wide to come and buy her special Ogiri. So all I needed to do was go to the village and film her making Ogiri, edit the video and upload for you guys. Job done. But hold it. The problem is that the ingredient used in making Ogiri Igbo is the rarest ingredient ever. Even some people that live in Nigeria do not know it. They've never seen it. And when you do see it, it is very, very expensive. Let me show you. It is known as Castor Seeds. These cute seeds that look like ladybird. Don't worry, I'll show you a better view. I showed you the plant in one of my Christmas vlogs. You see what you're missing when you do not watch my village vlogs. Never mind how cute castor seeds look. They contain ricin, which is one of the most poisonous substances. But not to worry, by the time the castor seeds pass through the complete process of preparing Ogiri, it becomes safe to eat. So no problems with that. You only get ricin poisoning when you eat raw castor seeds, and it also depends on the quantity you eat. So yeah, it's safe to eat when you follow the due process. It's just like cassava, which contains cyanide, but once you follow the correct preparation process, it's safe to eat. So that's why I've not made the recipe up till now, because it doesn't make sense preparing Ogiri with a very rare ingredient that you can't find in Obodo Igbo either. The good news is that I noticed that Egusi, yes, the Egusi that you use to prepare Egusi soup, has a similar texture as castor seeds. Castor seeds have a styrofoam texture. Egusi seeds, not the same, but quite close. I also thought that Egusi gives off a pungent smell easily. That is why when you prepare Egusi soup, as soon as it cools down, you put it in the freezer or in the fridge. In fact, in Nigeria, on a hot day, if you prepare Egusi soup in the morning and leave it on your kitchen counter, by evening, it has started giving up bubbles and this pungent smell. That reminds me, one of my uncles, when his wife was pregnant with her first child, her pregnancy craving was Egusi Baloka Mbaliko. In those days, she would prepare Egusi soup, take out her share in a container, put her hands inside it to catalyze the Ebaoka, then cover it and leave it. After a while, it will start bubbling and giving off this pungent smell. That's when she will warm it and enjoy. When she's eating it, she will be smacking her lips. In fact, when she starts warming that soup, all of us will pick race and leave the house for her. We don't get back until we're sure that she has finished eating and fumigated the whole place. The things women eat when they're pregnant, eh? Castor seed is known as Ugba in my Igbo dialect. Igbo and Abia people, what we call Okpaka in Anambra State, you call it Ugba. So what do you call this one? Do you call it Ugba as well? Let me know in the comments, please. Have you commented on this video yet? Have you? Remember that this year, 2020, is the year that you will stop being Sidon de look. Have you commented? Please comment. Somebody is waiting to learn from your comment. So when I observed the similarities between these two ingredients, I started asking questions. To the best of my knowledge, in my hometown, Agolo, we do not use egusi to make Ogiri Igbo. So I asked my mother-in-law and she confirmed that they used it a long time ago. I don't know if there are still people that use it now in their hometown. And she shared the process with me. That's the method I'll be sharing in this video today. I'm going to use egusi. Everybody knows what egusi looks like. It's the most popular ingredient used in preparing the most popular Nigerian soup for swallows. So everybody can recognize egusi. This one has been peeled. I picked them, I've already sorted them out, removed all the skin that are left in here and removed the bad seeds as well. And then we need leaves. This is what I'm going to use to wrap it. You will see how I'll wrap it before cooking. You need these leaves. You can also use banana leaves, but remember to wilt your banana leaves before you start using it so it doesn't tear on you. But these ones are oma leaves, etere. They already come wilted, like soft and malleable. They're not brittle, these ones, but banana leaves, you need to wilt them in a special way. I have a video for that on my channel. I'll link it up. Then you need strings, food safe strings for tying them. You'll see everything as we go along. First, we set some water to boil. Rinse the egusi. By the way, I have 1.5 cups of egusi in here. You can make any quantity, but it's better to start with a small quantity because you're doing testing. When done, put it back in the bowl and wait for the hot water to boil. When the water boils, pour it in there. This is like blanching the egusi seeds. Egusi is dry. It's not as fluffy as castor seeds. Castor seeds have a foam-like texture, so this blanching with hot water kind of puts the egusi in a much more similar texture as castor seeds. Not really, but we are just trying here. And then once you notice that it has a foam-like texture, just for a few seconds, as you've seen, pour it out. And you can smell the egusi as well. There's a kind of smell that is coming out now. I can smell it. Can you see it? Can you see it? If you can't see it, you tell me. Hey, like it's a live video. You kind of make it flat. Try and make it flat so it cooks better. You can see that this leaf is important in Nigerian cooking. How many days have you seen me use this leaf for? Some of you ask me, Flo, is your leaf not a finish? It doesn't finish. Hey, whenever I go to Nigeria, I buy enough to last me till I go back here. So it stores well in the freezer. The worst that can happen is that it will change color a little bit. As you can see, some of them here are turning brown, but it's okay to use them for this ogiri. Yeah, it's supposed to be much tighter than this, but yeah, something like that. So it looks like a cobweb. So to cook it, you put a base. This base is just so that it will not burn when the water dries. Then you put it like that. Then you pour water to cover it. I'm going to pour the hot water first because I have some hot water. If not, you can add cold water. The quantity of water you pour depends on the size of your wrap. For instance, my mother-in-law said to pour the water till it's about here, like when you put your finger on the wrap like this, you pour the water till this second, I don't know what this is called on your fingers. You see this place that you bend your fingers on your knuckles, the second knuckle or whatever, this one. So maybe about 1.5 inches of water above the wrap. So that means if you have a bigger wrap like this, you use a bigger pot so that by the time you finish pouring your water, you have about 1 to 2 inches clearance of water. That's about it. And then you start cooking. You cook it till this water dries up. It's a long process, yeah. On medium heat. See that the water is reducing. I've cooked it for 1 hour now. 1 good hour. I've been cooking it for almost 3 hours. It's dry, yeah, it's dry. You see? It's drying. So you press this to press out all the water, if any, inside. Press it out. This base I put in there should help when pressing it out. Press it out. It's hotty. You see, let's press out some water. Keep doing that. Such all the water. So if possible, use an old pot for this, like I'm doing. Like I used my pokoja pot. Don't be small work or work no pay. Hey, what YouTube people tell me to do on this YouTube? Prepare ogiri for me, prepare Ugba water for me, prepare, what's the other one? Obaloti for me. Don't do this, so my hands, na bakro hands, so This is why you need to put it in small wraps, even if you're making a larger quantity. Put it in small wraps like this. For those of you that want to turn this into a business opportunity, yeah, you may want to do it in large quantities. So wrap it up in this kind of wraps, you know, so that it will be easier to press this out. I think I've pressed it all out. Next thing is for me to keep this pot, put it away in a cupboard. I'm going to put it in my oven with the oven turned off. That's where I'm going to put it. Till it has cooled down completely. So that's tomorrow. See, I have a pot stand here. This is the ogiri the next day. It hasn't started smelling. It has to be here for 3 days. 3 good days. So it hasn't, I can't smell anything. So it's been 4 days since I cooked this ogiri. I wanted to check it yesterday. Oh, is this mold? I wanted to check it yesterday, but I was so busy. So today I'm going to check it and pound it. See how it is? Still quite hard. Ugh. I expected it to be strong, to be softer by now. Normally you're supposed to pound this in a mortar till it turns into paste. But from the look of things, I think I'm going to use a blender. Okay, I decided to show you, if you were pounding it in a mortar, this is how you pound it. It's actually quite easy to pound it. I thought it would be difficult. It looks easy. I'm actually tempted to pound all of them because this is just a small quantity. I'm actually tempted to pound all of them in a mortar just to follow tradition. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's alright to use a blender, a food processor, anything that will get the job done for you easy. The paste is coming together. I've only been pounding for 2 minutes. You can see that I didn't add water. I don't want to add water. If you have a food processor, I think it will be better for this kind of thing, but I don't have it. It's not working. Transfer to the mortar. But at least it blended it a bit, so when I transfer to a mortar it will be easier now. After serious pounding, this is what I have. I've tried. Pound your own till smooth or grind it with a food processor, whatever. Yeah. It's smooth enough, isn't it? Yeah. There are no, I can't see any Egusi seeds. Can you? Can you? Anyway, I'm just doing a demo. Okay, I can see one over there. I'm just doing a demo. Do a better job than I did, okay? Next, I'll transfer it to a bowl. Put it in in there. This is when it will develop the smell, the classic smell of ogiri. It's smelly, no. Hey. Olololo. So you leave it to cure. Normally it's left to cure for 4 days, but after 4 days mine wasn't smelling as, yeah, I took a peep. It wasn't smelling as, you know, I expected to smell like ogiri. But today, this is 6 days later. It's smelling, no. Yeah, it's smelling like ogiri. You may be wondering, why is it cream color? Is that cream, off-white? It's because those dark ones you see. Let me get it. This one, I just got it out from my freezer. It's dark because you can even see traces of off-white here. It's dark because in Nigeria, when they're making ogiri, they actually add charcoal to it. So I don't know if is activated charcoal edible. So if you want to see that normal ogiri color, maybe you should add activated charcoal. Don't say that Flo told you. Don't say that Flo told you, I beg. So yeah, the number of days you leave it to cure is up to you. Just keep smelling it every day. You can sniff it every day like a sniffer dog. And when you're happy, you mix it like this and wrap it in. You mix it like this and put in a tub like this, put in your freezer and use when you want. But for this one, I'm going to wrap it the traditional way. So to wrap it, you need Oma leaves. I just want to wrap it the traditional way that they do in Nigeria. And then you need this one. This one is, I got this strip of paper from parchment paper or baking sheet. In Nigeria, they use dry banana leaves as this. I'll show you. And then you need strings. Just get a small quantity. It's wrapped like moi moi or agidi jollof. Then you use this one to go round. At least this is how my grandma wraps it. My grandma is a renowned ogiri woman. Then you use strings. This thing is slippery. These strings are short. I don't know where my long strings are. I did a crappy job, yeah, but this is how it should be. Ogiri. Hey. The reason why mine took longer to cure is most likely because it's winter now. It's cold. My kitchen is cold. In Nigeria, it shouldn't take that long because Nigeria is always summer. So if you're making this in the winter and you live in a very cold place, yours might take longer, or you need to simulate really hot weather. inside the oven, maybe by turning the oven on for maybe 10 minutes and turning it back off. Ogiri Igbo. Hey! Oh no, I can't believe I'm making ogiri on YouTube. Oh, the things you guys make me do, eh? Hey! You not get my mumu button, eh? I kept it here to see if it will ferment more and smell more. This is the next day. Oh, this thing is smelling so much. Hey, nobody can enter this kitchen anymore because of the smell. So I just want to show you guys, open one of them and see what it looks like. Then I'll throw them into the freezer so that somebody can breathe in here, I beg. Can you see it? Can you see it? No change in color, but it's smelling so bad. Oh, madre, why did I take my nose close to this thing? So that's it, going into the freezer till whenever. So if you want to cook any traditional meal that requires this, just take a little bit quantity and add per the recipe. The only thing I was not happy with is the texture, because I pounded it with a mortar. Don't underestimate the science behind some practices that may look like a waste of time. There may be some chemical reaction going on with the Egusi Seeds method that we may not be aware of. As you all know, I can't stop here because I like to find out more. So I tried it with ground egusi. I started by adding some hot water to the egusi powder. Mixed very well. Wrap the paste as I did with the seeds. And cooked it using the same technique, that is till the water dried up. At this stage, the ogiri had a kind of rubbery texture, which is probably because the paste was compact in the wrap, so it cooked differently compared to cooking the seeds. Because of that, you may want to add a lot more hot water at the beginning, you know, when I mixed it with hot water before cooking. I'm adding some water to bring it to a softer consistency because it's too thick. I will say that the two methods worked. So use ground egusi. I don't see any need of using the seeds. Sofa. Of course, the second one is easier, especially if you already have ground egusi, and it's easier to grind egusi when it's dry. You don't even know how pungent this ogiri is. Madre mia. You saw me wrap the first batch and put in the freezer. Even in the frozen state, when we open the door of that freezer, the pungent smell oozes out into this kitchen. I brought it out, wrapped it like more reinforced wrapping and put it in a container and put it in. That's how I've been able to contain the smell. The smell is so potent, man, so potent. Please try this and give me a feedback. Give me a pungent feedback. Have you liked this video yet? Have you? You see what I go through to bring you the best of the best recipes on this channel, to make sure that you do not miss anything in Obodo Igbo. You're feeling like you're in Nigeria and that's your Obodo Igbo, are you not? Click here for all the recipes where we use Ogiri Igbo. Bye bye. See you soon.